You are scrutinized by your partners, your peers, the people you work with. You are scrutinized by your leadership, your supervisors. You are scrutinized by your agency, internal affairs. You're scrutinized by prosecuting attorneys, United States attorneys, counties attorneys. You're scrutinized by defense attorneys, civil attorneys. You're scrutinized by some civilian review boards. You're scrutinized by the media. You're scrutinized by the public. And it's constant. So however long your career is, you've got a lot of people watching you to make mistakes and to do things wrong and criticizing what you do. And people understand the stress that brings and the difficulty psychologically of dealing with what appears to be a populace that doesn't like you or care for what you're doing, even though you're doing it for them. And so there were many times in my career when I had a split second to make a decision that was then scrutinized for 2.5, 3 years by courts, judges, internal affairs, shooting review boards, supervisors, you name it, civil attorneys, defense attorneys, prosecutors. So you would make a decision that literally would happen in a microsecond and then had to be scrutinized and face the music. I've had cases taken before circuit courts dozens of times, and a few made it to the Supreme Court. And you get scrutinized in the courts. Judges that are very difficult on you. I was in one trial where the entire week, the first week, the judge didn't let a prosecution witness finish a sentence. No, Agent MacKay, you're not going to talk about that in my courtroom. No, Agent MacKay, you're not going to prejudice this jury with that statement. No, Agent MacKay, you will not bring that topic up. I mean, for a week, you know. And I remember one judge, we were signing a search warrant, and there was a violent individual. And I don't want to get into too many details because I don't know where the people are today, but a young lady had been sexually assaulted. And the mother had called us at night and said that her daughter was in surgery being fixed. And being careful here, told us who it was that did it. And it was a drug dealer that we knew. In fact, we were getting ready to go after him, do a case on him and arrest him. And it broke our hearts. I remember it was late in the office and it just broke our hearts. So we went and got the arrest warrants and the search warrants that we needed to get this guy off the street that night. And when we went to the judge, wouldn't give us a no-knock, even though this was a known armed suspect. And I'll never forget that, how close it came to saying, well, Your Honor, why don't you come with us and go first? But I didn't say that. We went and knocked on the door, and the suspect we could hear running around inside, flushing his dope, and went and grabbed him and got him and found a couple other young females doped up in the place too that were going to be the next victims. You know, so yeah, you get scrutinized for what you do, and that's okay. If you're not willing to face the heat, don't get into this line of work, because you have to, and you have to be accountable. You're given an incredible amount of power and authority, and it must needs be checked and balanced and watched over and not abused. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the news today I don't agree with, but I can tell you that in my entire career, I'm very proud of the agents and officers I worked with that we weren't making up stuff. We weren't fudging the rules. We kept the rules, we kept the policy, we kept the law, and that didn't matter where I went. I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but wherever we went around the world, even the United States, but particularly around the world, as U.S. agents, as representatives of the United States of America and our laws, we set a standard. The gold standard for law enforcement around the world is the United States, including state and local officers. And I've served in a lot of countries, and I've worked with thousands of officers in and out of the United States. And the United States law enforcement agencies are the gold standard. That's who they want to be and who they want to emulate.